Good morning and welcome to Morning at NTV. My name is Idris Matu and this is Everyday Life, where we get to talk about different things from politics, finance, economics, health and religion. And in studio I have Mrs. Esther Weiss from Seventh-day Adventist Church. You are the Youth Children Ministry Music Director. So many titles.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Do they say praise the Lord?
Yes, of course.
And what do you say?
Amen.
Amen. And I have Michael Kasibante, who is the CEO of Advance, if I have that right.
Advance Uganda Microfinance Limited.
All right. What do you do in Advance Microfinance?
Well, we're a microfinance organization. We provide financial services to people that are unbanked or those that are underbanked. And these customers are usually in the markets. The people, the underbanked are people where you find that they do not have the right requirements to get a loan from the regulated financial
You're looking sharp today.
Thank you
very
very
sharp. Now, going back to Mrs. Esther Weiss.
Yes, please.
The world leader of the Seventh-day Adventist Church,
yes.
Ted Wilson,
yes.
is in the country.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Well, we want to thank the Lord as the SDA Church in Uganda. We've hosted the world leader of the Seventh Adventist Church. His title is General Conference of the Seventh Adventist Church President. Incidentally, the SDA Church leaders are addressed as presidents. Presidents.
All right.
We hear of bishops, we hear of
popes.
Other popes, but for the SDA's case, it is president. And so the world leader of the SDA Church is here. He arrived on 14th of February, that was Wednesday. And his visit is pastoral in nature. It's a spiritual visit, it's a pastoral visit to check on the SDAs in Uganda.
He's not here to contest for presidency.
No. He's here on a pastoral visit and to give encouragement to the church members.
Okay.
The Seventh Adventist Church worldwide, we are over 20 million Adventists worldwide.
In the world.
And over 200 countries where SDAs are. And Uganda being part of that worldwide movement. And we are so blessed to host our world president here. He's on a 4-day visit countrywide in all our entities of the church.
When did he arrive?
He arrived on the 14th of February.
14th of February. Okay.
Just last Wednesday. And we welcomed him, had a good dinner with him as the Adventist professionals, young professionals, and the less service people, and it was good. Is
this the president's first visit to Uganda?
Yes, for him, particularly as a president, it is his first visit. But he has ever visited Uganda in another capacity.
All right.
By then, he was the General Conference Secretary when he visited Uganda, just briefly on a given church. All
right. And Mr. Kasibante, how are you involved in this visit?
Well, Advance Uganda Microfinance Limited is a church-related organization. We're owned by ADRA Uganda. ADRA Uganda is Adventist Development and Relief Agency, an institution owned by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Uganda. And by that, we're part of it.
But we also to the cause.
We're affiliated to them. But we also think that as private companies, we need to support the work of the church because the church is us. Yes.
What, Mrs. Esther, what
please.
sets the SDA Church away from other sects under Christianity?
What sets the big difference, and the rest of the others know us, is being the Sabbath Keepers. That is the difference.
Sabbath Keepers.
Sabbath Keepers.
For us who might not understand. Yes.
7-day Sabbath Keepers, that is Saturday.
And
incidentally, the rest of the world addresses it as 6th day, yet it is the 7th day. So it is what sets us apart. And the way we do our mission, everything is based just on the Bible and the Bible alone. And you'll only find the SDAs holding that Bible and Bible alone. If it is in the Bible, I believe it.
If it's not,
I don't. That is the SDAs. So you'll find others may be may find it difficult to get affiliated easily. Some, I've had many of them saying, I wish I am an Adventist, but that part of Saturday, I am very committed. I know you are the right, but part of Saturday, only that.
So they take work more important than praising the Lord.
Work more important, and I believe many of the people out there know, and they know the truth.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Do you celebrate Ash Wednesday? Do you fast?
No.
You don't?
We don't fast. But we have our fasting periods in the church.
Which are different from other sects.
Yes, these other fasting are so general. They're so we don't know exactly their main origin. That's why I told you it's on Bible and Bible alone. So
if
we
it's
are
not in the
sure
Bible,
of the Bible,
we
don't
do
it.
All right. So the world leader is in Uganda.
Yes.
Where has he been since 14th February?
Since 14th, 15th yesterday, he visited the Bugema University students, and his visit was to meet the young people of SDAs who are in the different universities. They all gathered at Bugema University, a well-known institution in Uganda for the SDA, and he addressed the students, giving them big encouragement and supporting them to be missionary-oriented, even as they pursue other lifestyle, but all for the glory of God.
Yes.
He thereafter left for Kasese. Kasese is also another big, vast area where SDAs are so many. They have big projects there, so he had to visit. Remember, he's on a pastoral visit. And so he visited the Kasese, and now, today, he's with the state. He's visiting the state house in Entebbe, and from there, he'll leave for Lira. Lira is also another big area where SDA presence is also there. So, given the challenges in the past years where the SDAs countrywide, well, the challenges, the political challenges that were in northern Uganda field, they're just recovering. And so he's also having a pastoral visit this afternoon, and thereafter he'll join at Jinja, where he's meeting young people from eastern side.
Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow.
What's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow is an open air Sabbath.
Yes.
And you're welcome to the to the Sabbath worship, and we want to call all Ugandans. He's not here for only SDAs. He's here for all of us. And so it will be a pleasure to host all the people at Kololo for worship. And so it's a special invitation for all people to come and join us for worship. If you've never worshipped with the SDAs, have you ever worshipped with the SDAs?
No.
You need to join. You feel, yes, you're spirit-oriented and you're on the truth.
All right.
And so we invite all the people to come and worship with us. There's no need of showing a card for you to enter for worship place. No, just be there in time.
All right.
Yeah.
If you have just joined us, we are talking about the world leader, President Ted Wilson.
Pastor
Dr. Ted Wilson's visit to Uganda. It's his first as the president of the SDA Church, and he will be carrying out a Sabbath tomorrow at Kololo Airstrip, which starts from 8 a.m. Everyone is invited. If you are an SDA Adventist, please go there and be part of a great Sabbath. Now, going back to Mr. Kasivante, are you an SDA Adventist?
Yes.
Is that right?
I am. And I'm actually an elder in the church.
Oh, wow. So what do you do in the church?
Well, in the church, currently my portfolio, I'm in charge of the youth department. So I take over the young adults. I'm also in charge of what we call the ambassadors. These are from the ages of 16 to about 24. Then I take care of the Pathfinders Club. We have a club within the church, Pathfinders Club and Adventurers Club. And these clubs are meant to train these children to be good Christians. So we're discipling them to become good Christians. Then I'm also in charge of the children's department, and that takes charge of all the children that come to church.
I had asked Mrs. Weiss here about what sets apart an SDA Adventist person or Christian. What does it for you? What sets you apart, in your opinion?
As an Adventist,
yes.
I think as an Adventist, the main one, as she's mentioned, is the Bible. The truth should be, our truth should be guided by the Bible and our love for Christ and doing whatever He asked us to do. He left us memorials. He has said one of the biggest memorials is Sabbath, and that is one we argue about, but I think it's a big one for Jesus Christ, because every 7 days we're reminded of His great work of creation. And it's good to rest. You know, you're working your way from 1 to 6 days, and then on the 7th you have a time to rest, to recharge your batteries. And this is an opportunity to go to God and commune, meditate, and also join others on that day.
So if Saturday is the 7th day,
True.
then what is the first day? Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, so why the difference? Because I would like to understand, why the difference?
Why the difference? The difference is Sunday is the first day of the week.
Yeah.
And then Saturday is the 7th
Becomes
day
the
of the
7th
week.
day. But then
there is a lot there. If you study the church history, why was it transferred as Sunday to be the first day and not the first day? That is a lot. There is a lot we can discuss here.
Yeah,
That's why
why I'm asking is that because at the beginning of our conversation I asked you what sets SDA Adventists apart from the other sects of Christianity.
Yes.
And you told me that the standout point is that you believe in Saturday being Sabbath.
Yes.
And because we have a chance, the world is watching, and I would like them to understand, because tomorrow, if they are going to come, they would like to understand what the Adventists are about. So that's why I'm asking, why is it Saturday the 7th instead of saying Sunday is the 7th? And so many other sects of Christianity, the Catholics, the Protestants, believe that Saturday is not, and Sunday is.
Yes. Well, from the creation time, Sunday, first day, the Lord created. He rested on the 7th day. That was the Saturday, 7th day.
Yeah.
Where he even commanded us to rest because it is a day of worship. Okay. However, incidentally, through the church history, through the various teachings, of different denominations, the Sabbath worship Saturday was transferred to Sunday, not Saturday.
By whom? Who
by
transferred?
by the Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church,
yes.
Okay.
And they have so many reasons. When you go to ask any of the popes, all the reverends, they know it very well. They have their own reasons why it was transferred from Saturday to Sunday, and they acknowledge that. But it's not any judgment here. It is really
it's understanding. Again,
yes,
we are trying to understand what Sabbath means and what it's all about. Now, going to Mr. Kasibanti, tell us about Ted Wilson. He's a world leader of the SDA Church. He's coming to Uganda. Tell us something about him that is fascinating.
All right. Well, as an elder in Bunga SDA Central Church, Ted Wilson speaks to us. We were in Bugema yesterday, and we're starting a movement of Youth Connect. Youth Connect with Pastor Ted Wilson. And what we want to do is, what are the problems our youth are going through? When we were young, secondary, we had pen pals. But now, these youth have very many, I don't think we should call them pen pals, but let me call them e-friends. They have a lot of e-friends.
Yes.
So we think that the platform Pastor Ted has created will empower the youth, not just to have friends here in Uganda, but friends across Africa, friends across the entire world. And with that, we think that they can learn from what these other friends are doing. They can be inspired with what they're doing. And there'll be a conversation happening on that Connect with Pastor Ted. So I see our world leader as helping us fight one of the greatest problems, that's the youth unemployment. He's not going to create employment, but he'll provide a platform. There'll be a conversation, and I think the youth will be blessed and inspired by that platform.
Mrs. Weiss,
yes, please.
If I'm coming tomorrow to Kololo Airstrip for the Sabbath,
what
should I expect?
One, you should expect to be renewed spiritually. Pastor Ted is going to give a sermon of spiritual renewal for all Ugandans.
All right.
Given the various situations we are undergoing, people need to be revived. That is what we are lacking in the country, to be revived by the Word of God. You know, when somebody gets revived by the Word of God, then everything will run on smoothly. Why we have so many challenges, politically, economically, all that, probably somewhere, is because many of the Ugandans are not revived. When we talk about the various challenges, every Ugandan is crying of corruption. But if the Bible is in you, how will you lead a corrupt life in that office? That is where we are missing. And so the Ugandans need to be revived. Our leaders need to be revived. we've invited all the leaders to attend that worship.
Do you think they're coming?
Oh yes, they'll come, they come. And they always feel free to worship with the SDAs.
Yeah.
Whether you're Catholic, whether you're born again, whether you're Muslim, whether everybody. This is the Church of God. Everybody is welcome. And there is no limit. And so we expect so many people to come and worship the Lord with us. That is why we put it in an open air at Kololo for everybody, so that they are all invited.
All right. Michael, as an Adventist, what does it mean to you to be revived? How do you know that you are revived?
All right. As an Adventist, being revived is being able to live for Christ, to me. A number of times we fail, we get discouraged. And you need some revival to come to you. It may be through a friend, it may be through a pastor, it may be through something you attend or a book you read, especially the Bible, and realize that, you know what, this world is much more than I'm doing. So to me, I think that the revival, the feeling of revival, starts within the heart, and then it's shown by your actions. If you've been seated back in the church pews, right at the back, you know, I want to sit at the front.
At the front.
You want to engage. You want to be engaged. You want to be there. You want to participate in many church activities. I should actually add that as Advanced Uganda Microfinance Limited, we, I think, led the way for other private organizations, other privately owned companies within the church to also come forward. And many of them have actually supported the church work. We were lucky to support it this time. And I know many others have supported it in different ways. And I encourage them that let's go forward, let's support with the little we have, because the time is nigh. Jesus is coming back soon.
All right. And Mrs. Weiss,
Yes,
so many people nowadays, when they hear a church gathering, they tend to expect miracles.
Yes.
Should we expect miracles tomorrow?
Oh yes.
All right.
We believe in the miracles.
Okay.
But Bible and Bible alone. The first miracle you receive is to be renewed. As long as you open your heart to accept Jesus. That is the biggest miracle. And that has not happened yet for many of the Ugandans, because they are still having these other ways. They have not received the miracle of
Which
change.
other ways, Mrs. Weiss?
The other ways, the challenging ways,
Yeah.
we could say the evil ways, people are living in the opposite of the Lord. They have not yet received the miracle of being fully revived in the heart. And so the first miracle, you will be revived. You'll hear the word of God. That's a very big miracle.
Yeah.
And the second miracle is for you to have a hope of living eternal life. That is as they prepare for the soon return of Jesus Christ. Oh yes. And the other miracle, spiritual healing, the physical healing, and the emotional healing. All those are big miracles people should expect.
All right. Yes. Now, Mr. Michael, before we wrap up, I know we are running out of time.
Yes.
Just tell us about Advanced Microfinance. Where can we find you? What services you provide? And how you are going to help Ugandans?
All right. Well, Advanced Uganda Microfinance Limited is, as I said, it's a microfinance institution. We provide loans mainly, and these loans, we have business loans, that's working capital loans. We have agribusiness loans, so the entire value chain of agriculture, from the farmer to the person who sells the product or produces the product for the final market. We also have asset loans, so we give people assets. Recently we got onto the solar loans, so we're also moving with the solar loans. We've also been able to get partnerships with different organizations. I can speak right now with authority that we have an agency partnership with Equity Bank, so we'll be providing services for their customers. We also hope to sign off with Centenary Bank very shortly. And then we've also been sponsored. We have partners that work with us. We have Stromy Microfinance, we have Abi Finance, and Uganda Rural Challenge Fund. They've come together and they've helped us, you know, further our movement.
Our goal, the journey.
Yes.
Where are your offices exactly?
Our offices are in Nansana. And one of the other things I should say that we've done is that we've been able to connect with InterSwitch. So we have an island office in Busi that we'll be working with on the Entebbe.
Busi, where is Busi?
Entebbe, off Entebbe off Entebbe.
Yeah.
So as you're landing on Entebbe Airport, there's some islands there. So we'll be taking financial services to them through using the POS, point of sale machines. So people with different accounts will not have to cross over the waters and then come to the mainland. They can use it. But one other thing I also wanted to say, as the Adventist Church, we have three things, as someone mentioned, that are afflicting, humanity. That's poverty, disease, and ignorance. And the Adventist Church has been at the forefront. We have, I think, the second biggest education institutions in the world, in terms of numbers. So that is helping to fight ignorance. Then in terms of disease, we have quite a number of hospitals. We're actually building a hospital in Chireka Adventist Hospital.
Oh, wow.
But we have a number of other clinics. Then in terms of poverty, I think Advance Uganda Microfinance Limited.
You're providing loans, assets, and everything. Do I have to be an Adventist to have an account?
No.
To get a loan?
It's open to all. Any Ugandan.
And Madam Weiss, as we wrap up, any last few words? Well, maybe remind the people about tomorrow?
Yes, we are reminding all the viewers, all the Adventists, non-Adventists, you're all welcome for the worship tomorrow at Kololo Airstrip. Come in very early. At 6 a.m. we shall be beginning the worship. People will be arriving, and so want all the participants to be there by 6 a.m. The program is very tight. We have so many guests who are coming, and all SDAs, you are invited. Non-SDAs, you are invited. Yes.
And the event will be live on NTV, so well, if you're not able to be in Kampala and go to Kololo Airstrip tomorrow for the Sabbath with the president of the SDA Church, President Ted Wilson, tune into NTV in the morning and you'll be able to catch that now. Continue the conversation on our website, which is www.ntv.ug.co.ug, or our social media networks, that is on Facebook and Twitter. That will be NTV Uganda and Morning at NTV. Or you can DM me directly at Idris Matu. That is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and let's talk. Have a very nice weekend. And up next is Kawe Demo.